Welcome back, listeners, to the Khyber Pass podcast. I'm your host, Paul Metzger. This week, we have Bill Brovold, guitarist, composer, educator. Making his way to our stage first out of northern Minnesota, wending his way to the Pacific Northwest. Onward from there to points east, New York City, Detroit, upstate New York, and on and on. Passing through the exuberant improvisational times of New York City during the downtown music scene. He performed for us in trio setting. On guitar and vocal, Cole Police on saxophone, Adam Zahler electric guitar and recorder. Before the show, we sat down and had some small chat. As always, this podcast is brought to you by the Khyber Pass Cafe in St. Paul, Minnesota, voted the #1 Middle Eastern restaurant for 2019. As always, I have a small selection from the evening's concert to present, followed immediately by conversation between myself and Bill. I welcome you in. And now present Bill Brovold. Okay, well, I'll just say, first off, Bill, that's easy. Brovold.
Brovold.
Brovold? Yeah, that's easy too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and playing at the Khyber Pass and willing to sit down and talk a little bit in the podcast where we like to focus on improvisers, what makes a cat roll that way. You know, that kind of thing. It's a big question, but I like to start off maybe with some like historical for you before you were a player. You know, when you were just a kid or whatever. When did you start playing and what were you doing right before then?
Well, I mainly grew up in Washington State after living around here. Actually, in Minnesota, my family lived for a while. A little chilly up north on the border. And what did I do? I was outside all the time.
Yeah.
And I always loved sounds. I love the sounds of happening in the woods. I love the sounds of things falling. I love the sounds of machinery. And I think that informed my music. I built a log and bucket drum set when I was probably 10 or 12.
All right.
In there.
Yeah.
And, it was a wild sounding thing, and
but then you're in that though with the big logging, buzz saws,
right,
felling trees, and I mean that's intense.
I did a lot of that.
Way. Yeah.
I love the sound of chainsaws. Even before the plasmatics, I was doing things with 2 chainsaws at a time because they would get out of phase with each other if you had the same exact model of chainsaw.
Yeah.
And you run them, and they were never quite perfectly the same. I just love that sound.
Yeah.
I could sit there and just listen. I love working with steel grinders. I've been kicked out of a couple clubs when I pulled my steel grinder out and started grinding on some steel.
Yeah.
Sparking up the audience.
Somehow people find that sound abrasive.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you're actually abrading something.
Exactly. Well, I didn't get in any trouble from the audience. I got in trouble from the owner of the club for getting sparks too close to his grand piano. I don't know, he thought I was going to cut myself or cut something or hurt someone or something.
Yeah. So you're a young cat, you're coming into that kind of scene with making your own kind of home hobbled drum stuff, and then where do you end up? How do you continue to kind of follow that through?
I could jump up to now.
Okay.
I mean, just to give you an idea of tying that part of my life into now, I build instruments with children. Little kids in schools in Brooklyn.
All right.
And I built, rebuilt around 100 music instruments for the museum, Mass MoCA Museum, Museum of Contemporary Art in Massachusetts, of Gunnar Schoenbeck, who was an instrument builder out of found objects and garbage and discarded things. Wow. So it's sort of become a thing I do.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and makes me very happy to be making something like that.
Yeah, I mean, especially out of found stuff.
Yeah, I just built 2 guitars out of found object garbage, castaway things for a company in New York called Bash the Trash. And they do concerts and work with kids on building instruments and recycling and that. And they saw one of my guitars and said, "We want 2 of those." It's like, sure, you got it. And one of them's a piece of driftwood I found at Coney Island, and a neck from a broken guitar.
All right.
And like the bridge is just a piece of threaded rod, piece of angle
Yeah.
iron with holes drilled in it for the strings, and it all plays, works wonderful. And it got a nice humbucker pickup from someone working on their guitar, putting a good pickup on and throwing the old one out.
Let me ask you this: have you ever gotten into the winding your own?
I helped a guy wind.
Okay.
He's got a friend of mine, Steve Flicker, is a guitar maker, and I walked in and he had the almost looked like a fishing reel machine where you wind.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
Because they have electric ones that have a built-in counter and they really go fast, but it's that geared one.
Yeah, it's got a geared hand wind.
That's
I did one 4 pickup, a 4-post pickup for an electric mandolin.
It turned out
great. I had good supervision.
it's amazing
Yeah.
that works, even though if you understand
The log.
the reason for it and how it's working and something passing through this magnetic field, but I still don't believe it.
Right.
It's like an airplane. I don't really believe
Believe
that
they
can fly.
they shouldn't be up there.
Yeah. I mean, I took a lot of physics. I understand how that is up, but then if I'm in it, I think, nah, it can't work. It's too fucking heavy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It really defies all my believability. So, substances get me on an airplane.
Yeah.
Because I'm up there going, okay, I gotta put my head in a place where I'm happy to believe something that I don't believe in.
Yeah, to step
like
off.
I can fly.
Yeah, take the leap of faith. You need a nudge once in a while.
Yeah, well, I build a lot of stuff for kids, and I love the magic of that, of showing children. I built electric motors with them, out of a battery, a magnet, and some copper wire.
Come on.
And the kids looked at it, and they couldn't believe that this thing was a spinning motor all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it was one short class, and we had all built.
Oh man, that's so heartwarming to me.
Yes, and
I love that.
The little kids, they really.
What kind of little?
I teach a class that I put together called Sound Club, and I teach that in a few places for primarily 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. They're my favorite age.
Yeah.
When they get to a little bit older, too many other things start taking place of their desire to learn. A lot of the children. Yeah. And that's more of a challenge. It's also almost more rewarding when you have success. But the little kids are just, it's like a birthday or some celebration every single day when they learn something new. And you see a little kid with a power tool that would never get to touch one at home. And they're very safe, and there's no danger. No one's ever been hurt. Yeah. But they realize they can drill a hole through something. Yeah. And make it, and then they put a screw through that and put a string on that.
Oh, come on.
They've made an instrument.
Yeah.
And,
there's something amazing about it with kids, and I've only done some small amount of what you're talking about. When they can touch something.
Right.
It's a whole different cup of tea. Most of the time kids and people are meant to kind of kick back.
Right.
But when they can physically engage with the thing, that something else happens that's amazing.
They realize how much power they have over their surroundings when they can take something and create something else out of it. And that's really the steps people need, and I don't think enough kids get that. I think computers are great, but I think, the reason we made the motors is the kids were working on robots was their class, but they were programming robots on a computer and had no idea how the robots moved. Right. So I said robots move with hydraulics and motors. Yeah. And I showed them some hydraulic things I had, little servos. Yeah. And then we made the motor ourselves.
Beautiful.
So they were on a whole nother level. They understood the mechanics of the thing the computer was now telling what to do.
Yeah, yeah. Things can, there's so much passive learning, which is, that's That's what I grew up with.
Right.
But like what you're talking about, really being like in it and, you know, wrapping a wire, and
Right.
that's a different thing. That's really crazy cool.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
And it's really rewarding to work with young people. I mean, I work with high school kids, and you know, I've worked with some pretty rough and tumble high school kids, you know, in Brooklyn, Queens, and the South Bronx, and I always have a great time with them. You know, as soon as they're busy doing something, and you know, I really like what they do, and I like them. I like whatever. Even if they're not necessarily what socially would be nice, I like that about them, because that's what they are.
Hell yeah, that's called a real cat.
Yeah, you know, and they get them in here, and you know, do whatever you can do to make them feel good and be nice.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you have a lot of fun. So
yeah.
So that's what I do. And
so you've been chasing that down since
I've been making things.
You're a kid out in Washington State until right now.
Yeah. And then and I started making, really I started playing in groups. I played music and I played guitar, but I was really nervous about being in front of people. And finally, Rhys Chatham, the composer, came into my studio. I'm a painter as well. And he saw a bunch of my guitars, and next thing I was going to be doing visual arts for him, and next thing I know, I was a guitar player with him.
Damn.
So.
And so that was a tough kind of first steps, because you're performing in front of folks, and that.
It was very challenging, but I can remember our first show.
Yeah?
Yeah, at Tin Pan Alley in New York City.
And how did...
I was full. I mean,
could
by
you
then
handle
I learned the parts, I learned
Yeah.
everything, and I was playing with this woman named Susan Springfield on guitar, someone else, and she was very fun to work with, you know. She was really positive, and she knew how to play really well, and the drummer Wharton Tears was there, and Rhys.
Wow.
And it was really easy to do it, and it was a lot of fun, and I was like, wow, this is okay.
Yeah.
And they fed me and gave me free beer. I like this gig.
Yeah.
So now I like traveling and playing, and I have my little white van I put around in, and I was just playing in Lincoln with Jay, who's out there, and Jay and I toured Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Early in the spring.
How was it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Really a great time. Every show was fantastic. And we did a workshop with young people at a museum there, a museum of antique toys.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I was pretty much in heaven when I walked into that place.
That would be hard to leave.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I went back to it a couple times when I went back to do a show in Mexico City, and I was like immediately, boom, back to that museum.
Yeah, and probably, I'm, instantly, fantasizing. Like, you're there, you're doing a thing, you probably get to go, in the workroom. Backstage, as it were.
In that museum?
Maybe.
We were the workroom.
Oh, okay, so it happened in the workroom?
No.
The
workroom became where we were working.
Oh, okay,
So it's a museum of all these found objects and cool things. And we built, me and Jay and a former Minnesotan, Brian Day, we built music instruments from things that were in the museum.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Solid.
It was really wonderful. And the young people all brought something of their own to make into an instrument. And,
man, that's great.
It was a blast. And Jay's here tonight. Jay's going to play with us.
Yeah, right on. So how does that inform, let's say you're performing tonight, what instrument would you play? And how does that, the side we've been talking about,
right?
How does that move into the performative side of your expression?
Tonight, I'm playing compositions. Oddly enough, one of the young men who was playing with me. I knew him in Detroit when he was in junior high school and high school. He was good friends with my two sons. He was right in between them in age.
Oh, solid.
So that's really fun.
That's got to be crazy for you.
You know, really wonderful, and he's so good.
Yeah.
And his friend Cole. So, yeah, we'll have a great time. Adam Zahler.
Mm-hmm. And Cole.
And Cole Police.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, so we're playing compositions.
Yeah.
And we learned, but some of them are like real cartoon-based things, you know, little goofy.
Mm-hmm.
And some are a little not so much. Some cowboy-based stuff.
Like country western?
Well, cowboy music, which is country western, kind of came out of cowboy music.
Mm-hmm. So what would be a cowboy tune? I'm a leaving Cheyenne.
Old Paint, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And very famous cowboy musician was originally from Minnesota, Norwegian, Glenn Orlin.
Okay.
One of the great cowboy singers. And Hank Williams was kind of coming off of cowboy music, you know, coming out of that cowboy music vibe.
Sure.
It's more folky than country western. But yeah. And sometimes it's can get a little on the dark side, you know, a little creepy, and
yeah, the Louvin brothers have some stuff that's just not right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
He was going along with the sweetheart, and then man, he just picks up the stick and has to do her in. Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
Bill Gunnis.
Yeah.
You know, boy, I got to think about that. Better be careful, you love hungry lad. You better not answer that lonely heart's ad. You might meet your true love, you might meet your match, or you might get planted in Bell's tater patch.
Oh, hell no.
She was a mass murderer, and she would put out these lonely hearts ads, and every guy who answered them, there were all these men disappearing, and they finally found him in her tater patch.
Now, is that a real thing?
It's a real thing. Bell Gunnis lived in Indiana.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, did you come up through a phase of playing that kind of music, that sort of repertoire?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved it, and I've always listened to it, and I've worked with the Cowboys a bit out west. And so it's really beautiful. You know, and
so who you're digging, like Hank Williams?
I like Hank Williams. I like the Cowboy Poets, Waddy Mitchell, Baxter Black, and people like that. And yeah, I mean, there's so many. Glenn Orlin is one of my favorite singers in the world. And you know, I do like a lot of the older country music,
like Webb Pierce and that
Webb Pierce
era, or
Conway Twitty. I thought was great. George Jones, of course.
George Jones is insane.
George No Show
Mr.
Jones.
Fool. What the hell is that? It's so... That singing?
Yeah.
That is like... We're so masterful.
Yeah. It's like any art form, you know. There can be people anywhere that are so good at it. You know, he's from the East Texas Piney Woods.
Yeah. He blew my mind when I heard that tune.
Yeah. I went and saw one of his last performances at the Dutchess County Fair up in Rhinebeck, New York.
God damn.
And he was in his early 80s, and I was with a friend of mine who said, okay, you just completely put out a whole new side to yourself when I saw you sing and knew the words to every single George Jones song.
Damn.
I thought you were like an avant-garde homemade instrument jazz musician.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know, the secret's out.
Yeah, that's a beautiful secret.
Yeah. So, but I would say almost, sometimes I think I like too much music, or I can't decide of styles, so I mean, you know, my playlist has got Frank Sinatra, the Bulgarian women singers, you know, so on and so forth, George, and whomever
but
it might be.
What do you have, like the one thing that you just can't abide? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't even want to ever hear it, like Barbershop Quartet. doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? Do you have like whole genres that
Do you have any genres I
you're
don't
missing the chromosome for?
I did see a barbershop quartet once that just blew my mind, so I can't say I don't like the barbershop quartets.
Yeah, that's my own pathology.
There's
so.
a whole slice of pop music that I can tell is not written or composed or performed by anyone who gives a damn about the music. It's just production, you know. It's just a thing they do to make money, and that's been throughout the years. And
where it's a product and there are like 5 composer credits because
and there's a guy in a suit
it.
telling the composers how to do it and how to change it to fit some criteria that his bean counting boss told him to do. And you can just hear that, and it's like, why waste our ear time?
There's something that I like about that because I admire the craftsmanship.
Craftsmanship, songwriting can be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be wonderful, but I'm talking about the stuff that's really made by people who don't give a damn about what they're making. They just want to make some money on it.
Yeah.
And I can sort of sniff that out.
Yeah.
And I don't mind people making a lot of money on their music if it's good.
Yeah.
I made $10 off a record once, royalties.
Right on. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna party down.
Yeah.
But
Well, it sounds like they might be getting ready.
They are.
So if we were to do a pause here, or we could also call it the ending, we'll do it that way. All right?
I'm at your disposal.
All right, let's see
Happy
how
to
it
be
rolls
here.
then. So
Right.
we'll just say so long just in case, but I'm looking forward to hear you play.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right.
Bill Brovold at the Khyber Pass. I'm very thankful he took the time to share with us all a bit of his story, his development and background through what the future holds. Influences of sounds in the background that for some become foreground, influencing and changing the course of the stream. I'd like to thank Bill as well as the Khyber Pass Cafe. And now we have attained terminus. Until next week, I'm your host, Paul Metzger, saying so long.